and we're going to start this morning's English lesson with some phonics, and it's more revision, and you've done lots and lots of revision of these, so you should understand really quickly what you've got to do. So these are from our sounds mat that we normally have on the wall, and this is the long A sound. So instead of A, this is the A sound, and hopefully you should recognise the pictures. So I'll just remind you what the pictures are. So we've got R, ain, cl, a, fl, aim, gr, a, v, ale, a veil, which is something you sort of wear over your face, and 8 for the number 8. So your first job is to pause the video and have a go at writing those words, because you know how to write the tricky bit. That's been told to you, that's on the screen. And I want you to just sound out the missing letters in each word. And when you've had a go at that, you can then unpause the video and find out if you've got the correct spellings. So these are the correct A spellings. We've got rain, clay, flame, grey, veil and 8. And as a challenge, you could maybe see if you can think of another word to go underneath each of those. So see if you can think of another way you could use that spelling pattern, especially grey. There's a word that you use a lot that has an EY making an AY. Everyone writes it with an AY, and I'm always telling them there is no A in. See if you can remember what that word is. So when you've had a go at those, you can copy those if you didn't get them right the last time when you had to go on your own. Then see if you can think of one more word with each of those spelling patterns. Then we're going to look at the E sound. Now these are a lot harder to work out what these pictures are. So the first one with the double E, that one is sweets. And then we've got beads. Then we've got E, the split digraph is an athlete. Then a piece of puzzle, and then a happy face, so the word is happy, and then at the end there's money. So just like before, pause the video, and I want you to have a go at sounding out the rest of those words, because you know how to write the sound. So here is the correct way to spell each of those words: sweets, beads, athlete, peace, happy and money. And just like before, I want you now to see if you can think of another word that uses that spelling pattern for each of them. I think the hardest one is probably athlete, the split digraph, because not many words have a split digraph with an E. So don't worry if you can't think of any for that one. So for the second part of our English lesson, we're going to be just thinking a little bit more about Christmas, because I think it's the last time we're probably going to think about it, because it's getting further and further away. And when we do this in the classroom, I put this slide up and I said, let's talk about Christmas. Great idea, bad idea. And so before we do this, just have a little think why it might be a bad idea. Most of you probably think, oh, that's a great idea. I want to tell everyone about all my presents and about all the good things I did. But then think about maybe why for some people, they're thinking, oh no, I don't want to talk about Christmas. Maybe sometimes it's the grown-ups who say that, but sometimes children might think that as well. And so we could think about things like, does everyone receive presents at Christmas? Certainly not everyone gets the same amount of presents, or maybe not everyone gets things they want. And does everyone celebrate Christmas? So some people don't celebrate Christmas. Different religions have different festivals, and they might receive presents at a different time. They might get really fed up with us going on about Christmas. Does everyone have a great time? So sometimes Christmas is really good. This year, Christmas was really hard because lots of people couldn't do the things they wanted, and they couldn't see the people that they wanted to see. So that's one of the hardest things sometimes at Christmas, if you're on your own or you want to see someone but you can't be with them. And how could we think about the feelings of others? Now, the reason I've got this picture down here is because my daughter Evelyn used to watch things on YouTube where there'd be children unwrapping hundreds and hundreds of presents. And it used to make her really jealous, because she definitely doesn't get hundreds of presents. So sometimes when other people are sort of showing off a bit like that, it can make other people feel a bit down and a bit fed up and feel that, oh, maybe what I got wasn't that good because this girl on the internet has got thousands of things. So it's just about thinking about what other people feel when you're telling them things. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my Christmas. That's a picture of me and my daughter, and we were with my mum. My mum cooked that dinner, which was really nice. My mum is an excellent cook. I could never cook a Christmas dinner as good as my mum can cook a Christmas dinner. And it was very nice. I'm looking at it now, wishing that I had that nice Christmas dinner to eat. And then I'll tell you about some of my presents. Now, I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. I've been watching it since I was really little, probably since I was about 4 years old. And I watch it now. But the thing is, because people know I like Doctor Who, and I used to like it, they're always getting me Doctor Who presents. So I have quite a few Doctor Who things. This is just some of them. I forgot to bring them in, so I might make a little video for next week showing you some of my presents that I've got so you can actually see them. But I do have all the things in that picture, and that's me on Christmas Day at my mum's house looking at a book that they got me about Doctor Who. Now, talking about Christmas, it doesn't have to be about presents. You could think about what was the tastiest thing you had to eat or something you didn't like. There's those sprouts again. And did you FaceTime anyone in your family, maybe that you couldn't actually go and see? You might normally see them, but you couldn't see them. What did you watch on television? Or did you play any really good computer games? And then at the bottom it says, what was the strangest present you had? And the reason there's a picture of socks is when I was little, one of my aunties got me a pair of second-hand socks with a hole in the toe. So I think that must be the strangest present I've ever had. Now, we're going to write some sentences. There's 2 tasks. First one, pretty simple. We've got my best Christmas present was, and my strangest Christmas present was. So that's your sentence starter. But I want you to use the word because. So we're practicing spelling the word because. It's a conjunction. It helps extend a sentence and join 2 ideas together. So big elephants can always understand smaller elephants. That helps you to remember how to spell it. And I might put a link in the description to that little video of the 2 elephants together because it helps you remember how to spell the word because. So, 2 sentences. My best Christmas present was, and tell me about it. And remember to use adjectives to describe it. And then say, because. Why was it your best Christmas present? Had you always wanted one? Was it something that you put at the top of your list? Or maybe it was a surprise. Maybe you thought, oh, I'm never going to get one of those. And then you were really excited. And with the strangest one as well, tell me why it was a strange one. Because someone else might think, oh, I want one of those. But you thought it was really strange. You thought, well, I don't really like that. So tell me about the strangest one and your best Christmas present as well. So the challenge is to maybe have a bit more writing, a paragraph about your Christmas day. Now you could include those 2 sentences about your best present and your strangest present in this piece of writing. So it's a longer piece of writing. Now I've given you some ideas of words you can use because adverbs are really useful when you're doing a longer piece of writing. So just instead of saying, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, there are different ways to start your sentences. So you could say first, next, then, finally. So those help you sort of say what time things happened, what you did first. So first thing in the morning, I crept downstairs and opened the door and peeked in. Or finally, I went to bed. I'd had a brilliant day. And then over the other side of the page are some adverbs that can sort of describe feelings, how you felt about things. So interestingly, I didn't get any presents from my brother. Oh, that was me. That was my sentence. That's because we couldn't see him. Or surprisingly, I got my favourite ever computer game. Sadly, I couldn't see my nan or my granddad. Unfortunately, I didn't get a new phone, even though I really wanted one. So see if you could use any of those adverbs to start some sentences about your Christmas. And if you can use all of those words and you remember to use because, you're going to end up with a really good piece of writing. It doesn't have to be very, very long. It could just be a few lines. And if you use some of those words, it makes your writing a lot more interesting. So good luck with that task. I look forward to seeing what you come up with.